Well, good morning. Sorry about that, guys. Hey, good morning, TLC family. This is Aaron. Pastor Aaron, just making a little update for you guys. I've been talking about unconditional love and how love is just the main thing, and we've been, over the past couple of weeks talking about that. And I just today, when I always talk to the Lord about what I'm supposed to talk about concerning unconditional love. He keeps me on this place until He tells me not to talk about it. The reason I keep on talking about it is that it's something that we need to hear over and over again, unconditional love. Because what happens is that if we don't hear it, we fall into conditional love. We conditionally love ourselves, then in turn we conditionally love others. And then when you conditionally love people, it's not good because, conditional love is like if you do what I want, I'll do what you want. It's kind of like you scratch my back, I'll scratch your back. And it's kind of like, in some of the, even in some of the marriage teaching, it's like, okay, if you do these five love languages for your spouse, then you'll put money in the love bank and then you'll get stuff back out. Yeah, maybe not. But then what happens is you start loving based on conditions. And when we love people based on conditions, people get hurt. We get hurt and they get hurt. So it's important to love like God does, which is unconditional. And so today, we've been talking about, this past week, we've been talking about unconditional love, what it looks like. And one thing we have to realize is that so many times we we work on helping other people first before we let God help and heal us first. True Life Family, when I started the church, the reason why God gave me the name True Life, because I knew that, people get weird when I say this, but I say our church, even though it's a small church, is a church for Christians. And people look at you and go, what? Church for Christians? Why don't you make a church for Christians? Because Christians need the most help. We all do. Because what happens is we get saved, we get born again, we might even get spirit filled, and then what? And then we're supposed to go out and save the world and, do all these good works. And what happens a lot of times is that we ourselves as Christians haven't been made whole. I think about Jesus before he went into ministry. I mean, he was in the temple when he was 12 years old, knew what he was supposed to be doing. But God didn't let him go into ministry until he was, for 18 years later or more. Yeah, when he turned 30. And so, what happens? Even Apostle Paul, after Apostle Paul got saved, and then, he was preaching in one place, and then it said he went to Tarsus. He was gone. Some people say from 3 to 10 years he was gone, and God was developing him and healing him. And sometimes we don't even give ourselves that opportunity. We get people saved, and it's great to get people saved, but then we go, okay, now let's come on the streets with me, do this, do that. And then what begins to happen is that, they're doing good works, but they're not healed themselves. And because they're not healed themselves, their soul is not restored. Then a lot of times you see Christians falling back into old patterns. And people say this, they go, I heard people say this to me, why do they? Well, they know the Word of God. This shouldn't be happening. No, it's one thing to know the Word of God. It's another thing to live it every day in our daily lives. It's one thing to know. It's another thing to do. And so in the